This is a update on discussion number 5, a few comments on your answers for that particular discussion regarding professional development. Most of you talked about the idea of surveys to garner information from your staff. Great idea. One thing that I would caution you about is that you really need to be circumspect and thoughtful about how you structure that survey, the number of questions, and how well it captures the desired constructs that you want to understand regarding the present status of staff development, professional development, and needs inside your organization. And when I say staff development, I mean that could include your paraprofessionals, your cafeteria staff, your secretarial staff, and so on. And don't forget those folks when you are building professional development activities. Make sure that you, again, reflect on the data that you gather from that survey and be circumspect again about drawing broad conclusions. Make sure to triangulate that with other sources that you trust, such as some of you mentioned a curriculum coach. You may have a trusted teacher, the assistant principals, whatever, wherever you can find that source to make sure to check on the information that you're gathering out of your analysis. One of the things that I'd like to have you think about is the idea that not all of the staff development has to be programmatic or highly organized and long-term, in the sense that you may begin to sense a need inside your organization. You can develop what is called just-in-time professional development, which basically deals with an immediate need that's right on the horizon. A classic example of some just-in-time professional development might be having a short session regarding parent conferences right before those are held in the fall. The do's and don'ts of that type of situation. Those are especially good for new staff, but also a good refresher sometimes for your more seasoned veterans. When you're delivering that just-in-time professional development, don't forget that you have quite a level of expertise inside your own organization, and don't be afraid to use that. And your teachers, your assistant principals, other folks on staff may have a particular expertise to share, and make sure to take advantage of that. Not only is it economically a cheap alternative to high-cost staff development, but also it gives those who deliver it a sense of confidence and validates their professionalism. Many of you discussed data in your responses regarding how you would set up professional development. One thing that I'd like to caution you about is don't get pigeonholed into thinking that student achievement data is test scores alone. I know that there currently is a huge emphasis on that. However, I would tell you that that's only a snapshot of one day, people taking a test, and there's some research that shows that the same student taking the same exam on another day, the difference in their results could be up to 50%. So you've got a lot of variables there. You need to be taking a look at some other sources of data, such as attendance data for both your students and your staff. You need to take a look at things like discipline referrals. Where are those occurring? They might point out a shortcoming in your curriculum, but also it may point to some teachers who need some special attention. Keep in mind, a lot of you talked about grassroots professional development, that it needed to be a function of what was useful for teachers. Nothing could be more true. But however, as an educational leader, part of your position is to recognize what some of those growth areas are. And sometimes people don't know what they don't know. So you're going to have to sometimes guide folks towards an area that they may not necessarily feel comfortable with or think is relevant. And concurrent with that is also the idea that policy and law and initiatives from perhaps district office are going to be coming at you, and you won't have any choice about whether or not that is delivered or not as professional development to your staff. So your job, again, is to make that as palatable as possible for your teachers. Another area to consider and reflect upon is how will you evaluate the efficacy of your professional development programming. Is it effective? How will you determine that? Does that look different in a temporal fashion, that is short-term versus long-term? Because it may look different over a period of time. So those are some things to think about regarding discussion number 5. Professional development is a very important component of improving your organization, which you as an educational leader are constantly striving to do. And it also is an area that can keep your faculty fresh and excited about their best job in the world, that is teaching young people.